First day at our new station. Leapt from our virgin couches at 0650. This shook me a bit. Was still slightly dopey when at 15,000 feet we sighted a solid block of 20 Dornier 215s with a large fighter escort. Attacked en masse, then dived away as fighters came down. Joined Butch again after a frantic tail-wagging breakaway and started after the bombers again. Suddenly we see a Dornier coming towards us, running for home. We jump on it. Butch sits on its tail, pumping lead at it. I do quarter attacks. He doesn't like this. Lumps fall off and smoke pours out. I am awake now and feeling hungry. Butch says, "Don't waste any more ammunition on him. This guy's finished." The Dornier heads for Rochford. He is a wreck, rudders in ribbons, and pieces falling off all the time. One guy comes out at 100 feet. Parachute streams. He hits the ground and bounces. Two more quick sorties seeing nothing, and then more blitzkrieg on the fourth do. We run into a whole pile of ME-110s. Too far to attack the bombers, so start mixing it with the 110s. They circle and a lot come down vertically behind us. I lose Butch and everybody else as I turn around and around, watching my tail. Then a 110 rears in front of me, plain view, as he does a steep turn. Range is almost point blank as I turn inside and plug him. He disappears under my nose, and when I see him again, he is diving vertically starboard engine and wing blazing. I feel very cocky again. Look for the fight and find it is out of sight. I go home and find I've only fired 300 rounds. We sleep very soundly. Unsuccessful day. First sortie makes no contact. On second, whole squadron climbs like hell over base, as we see a smoke ring over us as a bombing mark. Then we see another big raid 10,000 feet above us. We stand on our tails to them, not a hope. When we look down, we find the aerodrome obscured by a pool of smoke. Everybody scored. A lot of buildings wrecked, but only 3 casualties. Shocking to see the whole thing happen, and not to be able to do a thing about it. Small party in Epping in the evening. Stayed sober. 2 scrambles, 0920 and 1230. No contact made and no fun at all. Just roaming around looking for Hun in the sun. Watch night bombers in the dark, parachute flares, and AA bursts all over the sky. Slept well. Another big day. Over Thames Haven. We met 25 bombers and scores of ME-109s. Fired at a Dornier but had to break away when fighters came down en masse. Chased bombers for 10 minutes but couldn't catch up. Came home and found Butch had bailed out and landed in a garden, where a terrified woman looked at him and then ran into the house. No more action today. Up in the morning over the Thames estuary to meet another raid. We nip in before the Hun fighters can get at us and do a quick flank attack. Fighters follow at once. I follow behind the bombers, watching 2 ME-109s coming behind me. Before they get into range, I turn sharp left and whip under them. Unfortunately, Crossy, who is following, gets plugged by one of these guys and has to crash land. I get into a circle with 2 109s and shoot at the second. He starts to dive, so I pull the plug and chase him. Third burst sets him on fire with his starboard wing and fuselage. We are down to 50 feet, so I leave him to burn and climb to 10,000 feet at full bore. Fighting is still going on, and 2 more 109s come for me. They work in pairs, and it seems fairly easy to number 2. Again, I pick him out and we tear down to 500 feet. We race along the Pilgrim's Way, and I fire the rest of my ammunition into him. Both radiators stream glycol, and I can smell him burning. I close on him, and I finish my rounds. He has his oxygen mask off, looking out at me. I leave him to go home and see him crash a few miles away. Going home, I see a parachute and circle it. A British one, Later it turns out that it was the CO who got shot down by 109s. In the evening, a party, then on to a dance with the boys of another squadron. Slept at Stapleford and stayed in bed till 9. I have the rest of the day off, and a very good thing too. Squadron gets into the big London raids and loses quite a few. Jones died in hospital, Wilson missing, several more shot down and bailed out. Stooge and I drove down to Maidstone Hospital to pick up the CO. Coming back, we get to the Blackwall Tunnel when the trouble starts, raining down all around us. No time to get to a shelter. We stand under the arch and watch the bombers approaching in waves. Hear the bombs whistle down and the explosions. Molotov breadbasket showers incendiaries around us, several in gasworks, which fortunately do not go up. Watch Cockneys put out one incendiary. Discover a gloomy type leaning against a lamppost, who discloses he is waiting for the pub to open. The CO feels a bit hard done by, as he's been shot down and wounded yesterday, then gets bombed today. Morris drives like a demon along a street and skips to a stop. Bus driver pulls up beside us and says, "Come on now, turn it up mate, you're on the blinking floor this time." Laughter mingles with bomb crashes. We all have stiff whiskies in the Russell. Go back in the dark via Hampstead Heath. Fires light up London, and fire engines are coming from all suburbs into the docks. Stop at a pub just outside Edmonton, and get a riotous reception and lots of beer from excited public bar. I shake hands with everybody, and get quite merry. One short sortie in the evening, but saw nothing at all. Again, no engagements. On patrol with 46, and we see 109s high above us, but they won't come and play. Wrote some letters. Cloudy day, blessed relief and lots of sleeping in the daytime. Went up in blue section and did cloud flying. Not a hope of seeing anything, if there had been anything there. First sortie in the morning brought us head on with a bunch of HE 111s. I do such a violent breakaway that I do an inverted spin. I lose 5,000 to 6,000 feet before I can get out of it. Can't find the fight at all after that, so I go home fed up. All set to get my own back at the second do, but all we see are 1 or 2 109s miles away. No fun. Another cloudy day, and scrambling in 1s and 2s to try almost impossible cloud interceptions. I get madder than hell because wireless is no use every time, and I get home 3 times purely by good luck. More pointless cloud flying exhibitions, wireless awful, and everybody very testy about it. Bombing and AA fire all the time, and it was a beautiful night. Tripped down into Sussex with another squadron, and saw more of our fighters than I'd ever seen before. I got attacked twice and everybody split up, and came home singly or in pairs. Those attacking me must have been 113, but every time I went to attack these guys, they were Spitfires, most foxing. The best day we've had. We go off at lunchtime with another squadron and meet 16 Dorniers and lots of 109s. We go into the bombers, but Butch breaks early as he gets hit. I break with him, lose him. Then for the bombers again. Meet them coming home and no MEs in sight. So I attack one on the edge of the formation. Get him straight away and he leaves the rest of his boys. Follow him, plugging all the time. A quarter attack comes off beautifully. See bullets going in a line from the nose back to the tail, at intervals of a foot all the way down. See that rear gunner is lying back in his seat, probably dead. Dornier is smoking like a chimney, can smell it from behind me. Oil comes back onto my aircraft and pieces fly past me. Then 3 blasted Spitfires horn in and drive me away from my own private and personal Dornier. One guy bails out from the jerry, so I put eternal fear into him by diving straight at him and miss him by inches. He has his arms folded and seems quite resigned. His ship crashes in flames and Spitfires shoot a line all around it. They're getting quite a reputation for pinching a bomber when a hurricane has got it on the run. So I go home first and claim it before he can. Afternoon brings even better pickings. Again, we attack the Dornier formation and break it wide open. They scatter all over the sky and go for the clouds. I get one straight away with a long burst. He catches fire and goes straight in. Chase another one in and out of the clouds. Port engine catches fire and goes out, and Butch and I claim him as a probable. Damn sure he was finished. Then I see two ME-109s behind me and whip around in a left-hand climbing turn. Horrid moment as I see his cannon winking at me, but he misses. Turn and start circling with the two of them. Gradually tighten the turn till I get a deflection shot at number 2 from above. See my bullets hit his left wing, and he is so shaken he dives into a cloud. Chase these two again, and lose them. Then the two fighters coming straight for me. I think they're Spitfires, so I don't fire. Dodge under them, and find they are the same two yellow-nose MEs. Annoying because they make off and I can't catch them again. Most successful day for the squadron. A bag of 10 destroyed, 13 probable, and others damaged. Our loss is nil. My bag 2 destroyed, 1 probable, 1 damaged. Scrambled out of bed in absolute confusion. Cloud up to 20,000 and mighty clod. We see dozens of vortices, but no enemy.